Hey everyone, this is AYBL Main here. This is going to be a righteous little video of my top 5 albums for every year that I've been alive, because it's 2004. That's year 36, and 2004 is what I would consider the haymaker of this particular decade, as it contains probably 2 of my favorite albums of all time. So I had to really think about who was going to be number 1 here. So let's kind of get into what the top 5 were and then announce that big winner. I've got definitely in the top 5, I've got The Streets, A Grand Don't Come for Free. If you're into a little bit of alternative hip hop, this is like a band you should definitely listen to. You got to kind of get used to the accent a little bit, but you know, Dry Your Eyes and Blinded by the Lights are really great tracks on there. I really think you should give these guys a chance. I mean, they're just hugely popular among the critics, and for good reason. It's just some great stuff there. Also making it into the top 5, I'm going to go ahead and put The Killer's Hot Fuss here. It is a great album all the way through. It's known mostly for, obviously Mr. Brightside and Somebody Told Me, and those are great tracks and everything. But I've really come to appreciate them over the last few albums that they've released. I'm particularly a fan of Sam's Town and Imploding the Mirage, which is their most recent album. So big fan of them, and I know that they base a lot of their music structures on Bruce Springsteen, which they're a big fan of. So also making it into my top 5, I've got Wilco, A Ghost Is Born. One of my favorite albums by Wilco. It's got spiders, it's got hummingbirds on there. It's also got Handshake Drugs. Definitely should try to check the album out. I remember I just got through hating on Yankee Motel Foxtrot, but the other albums I've always really liked by Wilco, and this is a really solid album as well, so check it out. So the difference between number 2 and number 1 here, guys, this was almost a coin flip in a lot of ways. But in the end, I kind of went with what my gut feeling on it. So, but not quite making it to number 1, I've got Arcade Fire's Funeral. I like all of the Neighborhood tracks on here. Probably Neighborhood number 2 is probably my favorite of the 3 that they did release. You could also check out Wake Up, and Rebellion (parentheses Lies) is also a really good track. Solid album. I don't think it's their best album, but it's really, really, really close. And I've ran their whole discography, so this was a really close call. But in the end, I had to go with an artist that, if you were to ask me 2 years ago, I'd have said there's no way I'm even listening to any of his albums. I'm not giving him a chance. And I finally broke down on a recommendation of a friend of mine, Trey Holmes, over on Reactions to the Classics. Trey, thank you for forcing this old man a little bit out of his comfort zone and choosing this album for number 1 for this year. It is a fantastic album, guys. It's The College Dropout by Kanye West. I'm a big samples fan when it comes to hip hop, and the sampling on this album is just fantastic. You should check out Spaceship's a great track. Samples Marvin Gaye in there. You can check out Two Words, samples Mandrill, samples The Fifth Dimension on that one. My favorite track on there is School Spirit, with samples Aretha Franklin's Spirit in the Dark. She let him sample that on the condition that it was actually a clean track. It's the only clean track that's actually on there. Never Let You Down's on there. I mean, there's just such great music on there, and everything is so well produced. I had to give big props. Kanye brought the rain on this album, so it made number 1 for me. As for the album that everybody said that I would love, but I actually didn't, I'm going to go with Franz Ferdinand here. And it's not that it's a terrible album in any way, but it was just way overhyped. And actually, when I listened to it the first time, the only song that I actually liked on there was the song Take Me Out, which I think was actually a popular hit. I went back and there was a couple other tracks that I thought were just okay, but it really was a band that I thought was overhyped a little bit. I mean, if you're kind of into the indie rock / dance, punk stuff, I would much rather listen to LCD Sound System than I would Franz Ferdinand. But that's just my opinion, so a little bit of a hot take. So that's what I've got for 2004, everybody. I hope everybody's doing well, and I will see you at 2005. Thanks.